We're gonna keep working. Let's try to get a few thousand words today. Dooby doo doo doo. Dooby doo. Good evening, good evening. Do 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 do. Let's see. They're past. Hmm. All right. Mm-hmm. Do-do. I've talked about this before in different different streams where it's like verisimilitude. It's not really about specific events, but more about story beats. And I have to make sure they're right. Hmm. Hmm. Sometimes I have to remind myself what was said. Don't want to repeat myself too much. People will think I'm AI. Oh no. Look at this. He's clearly AI. He's got repetition. And then it's like, but I streamed this. I don't know. It's pretty sussy. It's sussy Jack. I'm starting to hate the internet. Just a little bit. But it's like starting to hate. Ugh. Right now, the YouTube is recommending the King in Yellow story by Wendigoon. The story that kills you. That kind of wasn't a good. But, like, people talk a lot about Carcosa and like the whole like mythos of it, the King in Yellow, and I like it. But the thing is, I don't actually like most of what they've expanded it out to be. It's like the Hanged King, the similar sort of guy from the SCP Foundation. Like the Hanged King is a fantastic premise. Excellent. Does a lot of work. The play, you know, the things that, you know, like people like, oh, well, you know, you can't have too many things just driving people mad. But the thing is, if it's a really famous one, all that goes out the door because the Hanged King is just like the doorway to a, you know, it drives people mad, essentially. And it's not the doorway to another dimension. That's a different SCP article, that sort of thing. But it's like, in the first story, it's connected to this madman and the repairer of reputations. In the second story, which is the one with the artists, it preludes disaster and madness, but it doesn't actually, how do I want to put it? It doesn't actually bring anything in. It just causes bad things to happen. It's like a super misfortune generator. Like it doesn't seem to have an explicit will, at least in the original stories. Like, hold on. So, like, The King in Yellow has 9 short stories. Repair of Reputations, The Mask, The Court of the Dragon, The Yellow Sign, Demos del Dis. Let me see. So, yeah, I think Prophets in Paradise is the last one. But things from like the Streets of the Four Winds, Street of the First Shell, Street of Our Lady of the Fields, and Rue Barry, like they're just kind of romance novels. And if they have stuff about the King in Yellow, I don't know it particularly. You know, some things like the Yellow Sign come from Lovecraft, but it doesn't quite get there. The thing is that there's different things to it that people don't like. People will talk about, but they don't actually know what to actually do with practically. Like they go mad with irresistible truths. Like what? What's an irresistible truth? Oh, it's a thing. It's something that you don't know and now you know. You know, like what is it, like a book of nihilist philosophy or something? Is it like a lawyer reading the sorrows of young Werther and then they, you know, decide to end their lives after reading a little Goethe? No, obviously it's not quite what he's selling. You know, and if you did do it, it's like some people talk about, oh, these truths, you know, but it's like, it's just kind of like brand nihilism. The universe doesn't care, which Lovecraft did so much better in back in the day anyway, because he actually had features that you could attach the nihilism to. Well, right? Like, so if you imagine the average nihilist right now, they don't actually tie their nihilism to anything. They might say life is meaningless, but it's clear that life has meaning. You're just depressed about it. Or you just say that to make yourself feel better about the bad things in your life. I want to fiddle with something. Bad things in your life. Like, the nihilism doesn't come from some sort of the nihilism doesn't come from something real. It comes from the subjective heart. So, like, when it comes to things like, not cosmic nihilism or cosmic horror, that sort of thing, and nothing matters. Well, the thing is, nothing matters because it fundamentally comes from madness, not nothing. That's different. It's subtle. But people think madness just doesn't come to anything. But in actuality, madness is something. So madness is nothing organized, it's chaotic, maybe it has some inspiration to it, maybe it has a little bit of truth to it, but it doesn't actually, create an effect in the way that people think it does, right? Like, Joker isn't as mad as anyone says he is. He just has a laughing problem and he's an anarchist. He'll do things that he thinks are funny. He's more of a nihilist. And he ties it to his own amusement. Same thing with, like, other people who are nihilists, certain terrorists in literature. Honestly, I just don't read nihilistic works, so I'm kind of at a loss there. But, like, the things I read as a kid, nothing matters, sci-fi, cyberpunk BS. Well, yeah, because you didn't tie yourself to anything. Nothing matters because you're just one thing. And you're not, the writer isn't really smart enough to make it anything. I'm trying to discuss a void in belief or an anti-belief, and it's hard to do it because fundamentally I'm a guy who believes things. I believe a lot of things, and I believe them very strongly. So I'm trying to describe something that I fundamentally just don't do, right? Like, you can't have a true nihilist because the second that they no longer regain pleasure or money or whatever they've set their life to, which kind of makes them not a nihilist, but whatever, disappears, the only answer for a true nihilist is suicide. But the thing is that that's not quite what people are capable of handling, especially in a story. Like, to have a nihilist, like villain, say, you can't really have a nihilist hero because why in the world is he doing these things? Well, they took his wife from him, but he's a nihilist. Well, he clearly believes in love. If he's a psychopath who just wants his possession back, well, that's not going to be a pleasant story, and it's not going to work out in the end. Because if he decides that some new toy is shinier, he'll take the new toy instead. If the Sultan's like, yeah, this is the most beautiful girl in the harem. She's way more beautiful than the woman I took from you. Why don't you have her instead? I haven't even touched her yet. He might be like, ooh, forget Dorothy. I'm here for Alice. Things like that really, kind of, it's like, well, no, he wouldn't do that. He would do it for love. Okay, well, then he's not a nihilist. He clearly believes in love. It's one of these things that logically flow into each other. If your character believes in something, then he's going to act on it. If he doesn't believe in anything, he's not going to act on it. He must have a guiding North Star to direct his actions. He's not shutting down like a robot without instructions, is he? Well, no, then he wouldn't be a good character. It's very difficult. Very difficult. So anyway, the cosmic horror thing is a lot less nihilistic than people say. Partially because it's tied to Azathoth, Yog-Sothoth, Shub-Niggurath, Nyarlathotep, the King in Yellow, Castor, Odin's, Nodens rather, a whole bunch of other ones, Cthulhu. There's a whole bunch of stuff out there that is simply greater than mankind's comprehension. But the thing is that like to say it's all meaningless because of the madness doesn't quite add up, because it's clearly developed beyond what madness can do. Like you create order in your life. A character is fundamentally coming from order and into the cosmic madness in the average Lovecraft story. Therefore, he had meaning at one point, and just because it could all be taken from you doesn't actually, it isn't as good an argument as people say. Like fundamentally, you could get shot walking down the street, especially if you're in an inner city with a bad population around you. Like it's does that make your life meaningless? No. Like clearly there's a standard there that these people kind of miss out on, that Lovecraft misses out on. Another thing is these truths, right? That's supposed to bring on like ennui, nihilism, and stuff like that. But for others, it clearly invokes a lust for power. Through Hexathogothoth, the Devourer. You must, grant me my wishes. Blah blah blah. Owl, My Sanity had a really good setup for that, where basically the characters, these characters are a part of a cult. They sacrifice a girl to Hexagogothoth, and they basically shout 1,000 wishes at her, and most of them die. Some kill. Some want to have the best orgasm of their lives, so their heart explodes in the middle of it. Other characters, never want to worry about taxes again, so they just die. Stuff like that. It's clearly, they clearly wanted something. They had guides to how they wanted to live their lives, even though they were aware of the cosmic truth. You can't have people like totally in the cult without giving them something. These books exist somewhere. You mean to tell me that all he did was show up and say, "Hey, you're going to get a free lunch," and they're like willing to die for it? No, they clearly would have seen demonstrations of power beforehand that would prove that this guy could summon Hexagogothoth. Then it's like, okay, so this primordial truth, this irresistible truth. What are they just telling you are mortal, man? You're gonna die someday? That was one of the bedrocks of higher education for the curriculum of young men. Basically being told you're gonna die someday. And this is how the men of the ancients lived and died. This is how these people lived and died. Therefore, you should work and live a certain way and live with verve and all these other things. And it's like, what? Did they think they were immortal? Absolutely not. So it's like, to me, there's all kinds of a loss of what meaning what meaning means, I guess I should say, something like that. Like a loss of how people relate to truth. You see, like with Lovecraft, he was a paranoid man. Certain things, certain terrors did afflict him. Other times, they wrote it just because it was the style at the time. And it wouldn't fly today for the simple reason that we think about things. And there isn't enough truth for people to accept that people would go mad from truth. Like, and they do go mad from truth. That's a pretty hardy crime statistic among certain sexually degenerate parts of our population. And they get mad and they get an axe and they start killing people because they're in the wrong bathroom or something. Like many such cases. But it's like, what's the truth? That most people are like Indians or Africans or Chinese or whatever. That civilization disappears easily. That fundamentally, beyond yourself, you're a barbarian with tones of politeness. And the only reason you're polite is because you don't want your head crushed in or something. Like, that isn't really a truth that drives somebody mad. What is a truth that could drive somebody mad? Like, they can't have God not being real, because then it's like, wait, if all these gods are real, why is God real? Oh, actually, God doesn't exist. It's all as a thought. Okay. He's going to wake up any time now. Easy, though. Like, if the universe winks out when he wakes up, it's all just a pipe dreams of a mad God sleeping, in the cosmos, surrounding by a chittering court of lesser gods. It's like, yeah, but how does that affect you, buddy? It's crazy. Have you thought that the Necronomicon may have been wrong? What do you mean? It couldn't have been wrong. He was murdered in the streets. Yeah, they said he was folded up like a piece of paper and then disappeared. Could they have just been saying that because he was stabbed to death? It's like there never seems to be anyone around, and it would ruin the story, of course, who can countermand the ideas that are presented by these books to people, reading the Necronomicon or the King in Yellow. I could believe a play could drive somebody mad. There's an opera is the reason why we have Belgium. I'm not even joking. It sparked a peasant revolution, or a plebeian, maybe a better one, proletarian. I don't know. People, non-noble revolution that quickly spread. And it, caused Belgium to split away from Netherlands. Of course, there was already a Flemish identity, but something in that play activated it, and opera activated it and caused it to go haywire. Caused them to be willing to act on the patriotic, nationalistic fervor they did have. So, it's not like these things can happen, but the thing is that what is the, how do you, this is so hard to talk about, but how do you translate that out? Do you actually want to say, hey, I'll look it up. Hold on a second. Opera, that's the Morte di Portici, or Le Muette di Portici. And it had revolutionary themes. Sacred Heart of the People, To Arms. So it was basically a revolutionary battle call. But the thing is that it actually, it hit on a note that was already there. If somebody's becoming a nihilist or needs these truths or something, they were already going that way. And it caused a French revolt. Really, it was just a revolutionary piece that caused people to kind of go out and riot. Does that mean that there were special truths in that opera? That its call to arms was some sort of secret sauce, a secret truth that caused men to go mad and riot in the streets? It's like, what does that mean for your characters when you write this stuff? Can they actually be nihilistic in story? You might talk to them. Oh, do you want to die? No, I don't want to die. That's how you deal with see if a nihilist is real or not. You threaten his life. How dare you, sir? How dare you threaten to murder me? It wouldn't be murder. It would be assisted suicide, and that's legal in Canada. Sorry, friendo. Oh, how dare you? Oh, so your life is sacred? Yes. By what means? By what standards is your life sacred? Smiling Friends did it so well. They just point a gun at them and they just fall to their knees, giving up all their ambitions for life. Do these plays with these irrevocable truths, but with their ability to appreciate life? Could it be that? Could it be something more? I don't know. Like it's hard to write cosmic horror these days just because of that stuff. Because we're thinking through things in a way that our ancestors, quite frankly, 100 years ago, just didn't. You know what I mean? Like, people didn't think about that too much. About what the truths of the second act of The King in Yellow could be. What does he talk about things dying? Does he mention some sort of absurdity of life? Like, is there and of course it would ruin it to actually say what the play actually says. What I'm trying to say is that, okay, you have characters who are struck by a bout of madness or something, and it's just kind of like, I don't know what they could talk about that could actually drive somebody mad, because there's a big metaphor about masks and stuff in the snippets of the plays we have. Is it about like the falseness of people, the falseness of reality? Well, actually, it's true. There is a falseness to reality. Fundamentally, we live in a false reality. We do not see what reality is because we don't see God. We don't see the hand of God. We don't see the war of the angels against the devils. We don't see the tempter on our shoulder. We don't see the anti-tempter on our other shoulder. I don't like saying angel. That's not quite what the angel is there for. It's not a messenger. He's there to stop you from being tempted. The good influence. The good influence and the bad influence. Trying to whisper to keep your soul going towards heaven, or whisper to get your soul going towards hell. To diminish the joy of heaven by your absence. To try and hurt God, even though these people never intended to submit to God anyway. Like, is it something like that? Like, there was a book that did have a truth like that, and that's The Iron Chamber of Memory, where essentially the man describes different realities, where there's the reality of your true inner self. There's the reality beyond that of the magical world. There's the reality beyond that of the saints in heaven who are working on earth for the goodness of mankind, for the all the dead who have risen in Christ, working Christ's work. And then the reality beyond that, which everyone's sight is kept from, is that of the devil wrapped around the earth, attempting to tempt and to destroy man's souls, which you would be blasted to see, not because of glory, but because of terror. After all, who can win against such a dragon if you have forgotten Christ? And that's kind of the closest thing to something that actually laid down a sort of eldritch truth. The idea that there's the devil around the world and the devil around our hearts. And then the saints aren't as dead as we say they are, and the Christians aren't, the dead aren't so dead. And then you have the magical world, the leprechauns, the fairy folk, the Bigfoot and devils, who are princes of air and darkness. And then beyond that, back to reality, there's you as your true self. As noble as you want to be, as base as you want to be, and then beyond that is our normal world. You as you perceive it, and that is an eldritch truth. That is something that you can go through and say that's something I've never thought of before. that changes my entire outlook on life. How does it affect you, if you sin and you know that there are, the hordes of angels working around? It causes me to pause. And other times I cannot think of a better nature. But I desire sin more than I desire the goodness of God. Then you have people who act in certain ways and their ancestors see, their Christian ancestors. Are they still prayed for in heaven? I think so. I do believe that the church is biggest business in heaven, besides, of course, praising God, is a prayer for supplication, for their church brothers and sisters. Uh, there's that is also an eldritch truth. So how does somebody who doesn't believe that stuff handle it? Well, I don't know. Much like the nihilist can't handle having his life being threatened, the person who's writing some sort of truth but doesn't believe in God. I need water. But doesn't believe in God might not have something interesting to say that holds up to any kind of scrutiny beyond beyond the initial impression. Like in The King in Yellow about the mask and stuff like that. Maybe they could say something about the false nature of man, about his insecurities, about the stars, and their wickedness to man, their hatred of man, their destruction of man's souls through good luck and bad luck, bonasters and disasters. I could see that. But it's still, not quite there. It's still not quite there because it's not a truth that can. It's not a truth that can bring truth, if you get me. It's not a truth that can go any deeper than that, and that unfortunately won't survive scrutiny. Somebody might go, "Oh my goodness," if they're not grounded in themselves, if they don't grok who they are. And I don't mean Twitter grok, I mean grok the word that Twitter takes it from. If they don't grok who they are, if they're insecure, maybe it'll have an effect on them. The King in Yellow is read to the destruction of the artist and the mad, so maybe there is something to it. Do 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 do. Hmm. Excuse me. I had some popcorn before I got on. By the way, if you haven't read The Iron Chamber of Memory, let me pull that up. It's from the Castalia House days of John C. Wright. I formed it back in the day. Get the hardcover. So good. I haven't read it in a minute. I really should read it. Like, oh. Mm. Mm, mm, mm. Mm, 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 mm. I'm always bothered by these things just because, for some of this stuff, just because it's like there's a way to shorten URLs for Amazon and share them. Okay, let me click the button. No. I hate. Yeah, but no, it's good. It's real good. I could read that aloud sometimes. You guys might like that. If you like the sound of my voice specifically. I need to finish Pilgrim's Progress too. Do 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 do. I find the not to repeat what David Stewart says, but I am amused by the AI art in the book, George R. R. Martin book. It's like, yeah, you didn't vet him. What do you think was going to happen? What do you think was going to happen? Oh, well, he was this. It's like he was too good to be true. Blah, 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 blah. He was, Smokey Sayer. He was too good to be true. No, you can't. Listen to me. It was too good to be true. Yeah, you're right. That's a great That's a great Family Guy skit, by the way. Your marriage is over, Joe. I can use this cigarette to impact important talking points. Your marriage is over, Joe. Well, no, Bonnie and I have never been stronger. Your marriage is over. I know. I can rewatch that. It's not finding music I want to listen to. Maybe I shouldn't have talked so long about the King in Yellow. Huh? Let's see. Too off my writing tempo. How have I done? Hmm. And I'm on fire. So that's all right. I'll try to break into 8K. Hmm. All right, let me try to get to 750. I'm just not feeling it today. I've had a bunch of stuff going on, but it's like no. Come on, write a little bit more. I don't like this part. We'll figure it out. All right, I'm going to bed. I broke 750. Not ideal, but we'll try again soon. Thank you guys. Do pray for me. I lost my car, but fortunately I had a family car I could borrow. Just a whole bunch of repairs came up all at once while I was looking for work, no less. But it's alright. God's got me.